Using boring effect sounds like sweeps and rises can make your track sound amateur and generic. It can be the difference between someone listening to your track all the way through or just skipping to the next track. Just listen to this example. So in this video, I want to share 4 ways you can make your transition sound professional. And at the end of the video, I will share a tip that ties them all together. Bruno, Yassine and Adam, all producers from my program Stack to Finish, been using this system and they're finally playing gigs, the music is playing on the radio, and they got releases on big record labels. So let's jump into it. Technique number 1. Using white noise sweeps can make your track feel generic. It kind of sounds like you copy and paste sounds into your track, and it can feel a little bit out of place. There's a better way to add tension to your track, and it will make your track feel more organic and natural. So this is how it sounds with the white noise sweep. It sounds alright, but it doesn't actually feel natural. So I want to create these types of sounds from the existing elements of our track. So I took the clap of the track, added my favorite reverb to it, I increased the dry wet, increased the decay, and I'm automating the size to create this. Next, we want to reverse the sound. Place it instead of our white noise sweep, add an EQ, cut some of the lower frequencies, and now we have this. To remind you, this is how it sounded before. And after. Because this is made out of the same clap, it feels a little bit more organic, but we still have another issue here, and that is with the crash. And that leads me to technique number 2. So the same principle applies when using a crash. A crash sample makes your track feel cheap, and if you want it to feel more impactful, you need to layer it with a custom-made sound. So I took the same clap, added another instance of the reverb, I increased the decay, increased the dry wet, and increased the color. So now we have this. So let's first of all mute this clap. Let's get rid of the first initial bit of the sample and drag it back to the starting position. And let's add also a fade. Let's add an EQ. Let's cut some of the lower frequencies and increase some of the high frequencies. So we started with just the crash, which sounds like this. And then we added this layer. Let's also reduce the volume a little bit. This feels so much more impactful. But this transition is still far from sounding professional. We need to talk about technique number 3. So a static sound can make your track feel flat and lifeless. You will all agree with that, right? Adding movement and creative effects to your transitions can make your track feel lively, and it also helps to shift the energy between 2 parts of your track. So, what am I talking about? So I have all of these lead sounds just before the transition. We need to do something about it. We can obviously just add a little bit of a filter, but does that really sound good? It kind of sounds generic. There's a better way. So this plugin is absolutely amazing because it has all of these different types of filters that you can choose from, which some of them are not even filters, like Decimate. It does this. It's crazy. Another amazing filter that we have here is the next phase, which is basically a phaser. So we'll play them all together, but I just noticed that at this part I can make a little bit of a change and increase this all the way. How does this sound? Another cool thing that we can do is add the tempong, increase the feedback, and we will only add it at the very last bit of this sound. So it took me a little bit of fiddling around, but I came up with this. Sick. But we have one more little issue here, and that is with the bass, which leads me to technique number 4. So although just a normal filter could do the job for the bass, it does sound kind of generic and boring. It's just uninspiring. Adding a bit of a special effect can make your transition be much more recognizable and feel unique. So I took the same filterverse, and I have here some automation happening. So we have a low cut. I also have the evil, which has this evil sound to it and a lot of distortion. And then I have the double slit, which will add this weird pitching effect. In my program, Stack to Finished, you will learn systems like in this video, but you will also learn a system to finish every track you start and get your music to the same level as your favorite producers. Check out the link below to find out everything that you get. Now, what ties everything together is that I actually split the track into its different components. I tried to do something a little bit different to each and one of them by recording a reversed reverb on the clap, by making a crash from the clap, or just automating a filter to add movement. So we started with this. And now we have this. Now, while making your transition sounding professional is important, creating drum patterns like in this track is way more important, because that's what makes people dance and what gives the track its energy. So, watch this video to find out how I made these drum patterns. See you there. Peace.